everyone. Thank you for stopping by Living To Do's review of Married at First Sight, Season 17, Episode 10, Breaking Up the Party. So everyone in this episode, all the newlyweds are sad. I've never seen a sadder bunch of newlyweds on any season. You would think you wanted to be with somebody, but these people, they're just not jiving like they should. So let's get started with the review. But before we get started, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it, and I thank you in advance. And this is the episode before Christmas. So if anyone's in the giving spirit, here's my Cash App. Okay, now let's get started with the review. Let's talk about Becca and Austin, because there's not much to say. There seem to be cuddling and, smooching and here and there, but they're not really jiving. He's not really sexually attracted to her. He says he goes at a slower pace. They tell this to Dr. Pia, and we really don't know why. I mean, I think he's just not really attracted to her. They're more like buddies, kissing buddies. And Becca wants to move a little bit faster, but we got to wait on him. But if there was a baddie that was his wife instead of Becca, would he have this much trouble? I think not. Okay, let's go on to the next couple. All right, the next couple is Cameron and Claire. Now, we all know that Cameron likes Claire. He wants to feel wanted by Claire, and she's not giving him any kind of energy like that. Her body language says something totally different. It's almost like she gets an ick around him. And I don't know if she knows what it is. He doesn't bring sexual energy to her. He wants Claire to move in a romantic direction, of course, and she's not. She claims that his words do not align to his actions. But the only thing I can think about is she's not showing that any action taken would be received well. So he's not going to put forth the effort unless he knows that, it's going to be reciprocated, or he won't get turned down. It's a two-way street, and he's the only one on the street, unfortunately. And it's so crazy because I think she just talks around her issues with him and not directly about the issue. And which is crazy for her to be a therapist. She should have better skills in communicating. I just don't see her as a therapist. In this relationship, she does not give therapists at all. And they had a conversation with Dr. Pia, and when they sat down with her, they didn't have their rings on. And they were saying that, they're not going to move forward. One of the problems that they are having is that they disagree on raising kids. Okay, maybe. But I think that's a big cop-out. Because you were attracted to her regardless of how she wanted to raise the kids. And she's just not attracted to you. Raising the kid comment is what you can tell people that how it didn't work out, when that really wasn't the real issue. Now, one thing he does like about Claire is that he feels heard around her, which is great. And, well, she is a therapist. She can sit and listen. He feels attracted to her, but it hurts to be around her. That's what these are the things that he's telling Dr. Pia. So he feels rejected, and I think that, he's smart enough to know that this won't end well. So, he wants to step aside now before, he gets his feelings. His feelings are going to be hurt, but he's trying to protect them from being crushed. And I see Claire as so emotionless in this marriage. She's like almost numb to it. There's no emotion. I'm surprised that she's not even having an issue with him sleeping in the same bed as her. The way she acts towards him. And he tells Claire that he wants to love her. He asked her, "Do you see a future with me?" And she was hemming and hawing and hemming and hawing. And the answer is no. She doesn't see it. Uh, to be a therapist and cannot get your feelings out, cannot communicate effectively to another person and your partner, she's just failing at this. And he wants to, they were going to separate and not try again, but then they came back together and they're going to try again, but he's going to sleep in a separate room. And without hesitation, she's fine with that. Boy, she is a hard nut to crack. I know that. I understand that meaning now. And to be a therapist, just not given therapists. Okay, on to the next couple. All right, the next couple is Emily and Brennan. And Brennan is saying to Austin that divorce is still not an option. And I want to know why. Why? You both should stay in miserable relationships for the sake of being married. I mean, you're only 3 weeks in, and it's dismal, which means the future is grim. Emily cried to Becca about the relationship, that it's not working. She's trying to give it her all, and Emily, you know, she's toughing it out. She is a trooper, and she was holding it in. It was just, I guess it was a lot to bear, and she just bursted out crying, which was really sad to see. They spoke with Dr. Pia, and Brennan is turned off. He can't explain why, but obviously there's something there. There's a reason why he feels this way, and he's always going to be careful and mindful of Emily's feelings, so he doesn't want to blurt it out to what it is. But you're doing her more harm than good. I mean, you're just going to let her sit and stew in the rejection. Why can't you tell her in private? It doesn't have to be on camera so she knows what she's dealing with. He just won't talk about it. And I hope, and the way he's kind of inferring that it's something about her and not something about him. He just says he doesn't have feelings. There's no feelings to act on. But I don't know. I don't like this guy. More and more, I just don't like this guy. I can see what kind of person he is. He's not likable. The way he overtalks Dr. Pia during their session, the way he mansplains to Emily. And Dr. Pia had to check him on that. She asked Emily a question and he wanted to answer for her or say something to her before she answered. And Emily was kind of squinting her eyes, and Dr. Pia questioned that. What does that mean? He tried to explain to Dr. Pia what that meant. I don't see why Emily would want this guy after this. I know she's still trying and she's still committed to the process. And of course, she's always a good sport, but does she really want him? What are the qualities that are likable, or what qualities does he have that she's attracted to? I just don't want her to just be with somebody because she thinks that's what she's supposed to do, because that'd be sad. And what was that meal he was cooking? Oh, it was like bits of rolled up ground meat that he browned without, looked like zero seasoning. Unseasoned ground beef in a little tiny rolls like Vienna sausages, and he put it on dry hamburger buns. Oh, mm, that did not look appetizing at all. And of course, Emily was a good sport, and she ate it. Seems like she ate it with a smile on her face. She's just really a good sport. They talked about going to therapy, and he says he's not going to therapy. It's never going to happen. He's the kind of guy that needs therapy. Any way he can get it, he needs therapy. He's just not a likable guy. He's just one of those typical, ugh, can't stand kind of guys. Okay, let's go and talk about group setting. So all the couples got together in a group. The gang's all here, and I mean the gang's all here. Even Lauren and Orion showed up. You know, they all talked about how they were not doing well, and like this is the first time that all the couples realize that all the couples are not doing well, so they don't feel alone. But is this the first time in Married at First Sight's history, that there's no real viable couples? It's just so depressing. Of course, Lauren's she bickered with her ex-husband, and it was so crazy. When they walked in, they had their little labels. They had Lauren walk in, and then it said Orion's ex-wife, and the same thing for him. When he walked in, it said Lauren's ex-husband. That's how they're titling them. But Lauren looked beautiful. She looked really, really pretty. I mean, when you go see your ex, you look your best. And she looked really, really pretty. They were bickering. She said that he was gaslighting her. And she says he said, it's, well, if that's how you feel. They were just bickering in front of the group, and everybody has their jaws dropped. This couple was such a loving and affectionate couple on the honeymoon, and it's come to this. When Lauren went to her confessional, she explained, how her feelings, of course. She started crying in her confessional, which was really sad. She cried so much, she cried her way all the way to the ground, and it showed like a producer or a crew member come and see about her. And we see in the coming weeks that they get back together. They're seeing like out on a date, having a conversation. He's asking if she wants to try again. So what are they doing? Are these paid actors, this back and forth? If he's done all this hurt to you, why would you want to go back to him? It seems kind of desperate. And they show that Michael, the guy that got left at the altar, he's going to find his way back too. So that was it. I thought it was a very sad episode. Not that I wanted a lot of explosions or anything like that, but I want something to give. It just put us in a better spirit. I mean, it is the show before Christmas. And if anybody's in the giving spirit, here's my Cash App. But that's it for now. I have nothing more on these couples. I'll see you after Christmas. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. And I thank you in advance, because I gotta go, because I got living to do. Merry Christmas!